Why, hello, and welcome to issue 697 of Geek in the City Radio, coming to you live from Guardian Games. I am Aaron Duran. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I added too much to that.
And I'm Vita Rita.
Just chilling, apparently.
Just busting the hardest of chills, friend.
And I'm Cable Hashitani. Hi.
So what?
See, I feel like Bean and I are more chill because we were able to leave work and or what we were doing all day. Cable's still here.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. It's like when I used to record the show out of TFA back when it was a Wednesday.
Fuck.
So,
Oh.
yeah, I used
Yeah.
to do New Comic Book Day and then do the show that, by the way, used to only start at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Start
not
at 9 o'clock?
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys did, and it went really long, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is back when they all had to have like two damn near 20-minute smoke breaks. And finally I was like, y'all, it's a 90-minute show. You can go without smoking for 90 flipping minutes.
It's fine. Those were the old days.
Days.
I should say that we are in Studio 2.0.
Yeah.
We've been moving things around here at Guardian, so fortunately we were still kept in mind as far as making sure that the show still had space.
Yeah.
So, which is fantastic. But yeah,
The space might be a little comfier,
It is a little bit.
it is. It
Yeah.
actually has a sofa.
hence the lounge.
Hence
Yes.
the,
Hence the lounging.
Hard lounge. Yeah, it's pretty comfy in
yeah,
here.
a little louder. But
For now,
so
we'll
so
figure
live
that
so
out.
live folks, if you're hearing stuff in the background, it's because we are above the open, I said the open pit gaming area, but we are above the open pit gaming area.
Yes, we are above the. We are technically above the bar.
Yes.
So.
Beck says you look so chill.
So chill, Bex. I might actually stop sitting like this because I feel like I'm really far from the camera right now.
You are.
You are,
very
but
far from the camera.
you look like someone who's being interviewed on like a Dimension 20 podcast, like super chill, laid back.
Excellent.
You know, that conversational style that whatever.
But to give everyone like just an idea of what's going on, Denise, is, like I'm right here.
Cable can wheeze the juice anytime he
Uh-huh.
wants.
That
We
sounds
saw.
wrong. Hi.
Oh, that's disturbing too.
Look, I'm in two places at once.
Oh God! He's
Ah,
once again breaking the space-time continuum.
That's all I do.
Whoa!
Errant Gallifreyan.
That's a good band name too. And if Norm was here, he'd find a name for it.
That's the blog handle for my mostly defunct live journal.
Oh my God! Live journal. That's the one thing I never
Wow.
had.
Really?
Never had one.
Huh.
Nope. I just had an actual like .blogspot.
I tried that later when the Russians bought LiveJournal, and it's still there and people still use it. I think
Right.
Chris Walsh, his LiveJournal is still active.
He's ride or die for live journal.
Yeah, he is. Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think even George R. Martin still has a live journal.
yeah.
I mean, Kevin Smith still has an AOL account. That's how you contact him for the show.
Oh my God.
Like
It still works. He's never changed it. I don't know who owns it now. I don't think it is AOL.
it's probably MSN.
Sometimes I think about changing my email just so I can like stop getting the spam from all of the other things that I don't want.
I mean, it's easy to do.
Which part is easy? Making a new email? Or?
Making a new email. You can just make
Yeah.
a new
Yeah.
email.
No, I'm not saying it's hard to make a new email. I can make a dozen new emails right now if I want. But what's not easy?
That's how I always get free delivery on Grubhub. You just sign up with a new email over and over and over.
I'm sure that's a really popular system.
Mhm.
No, what's not easy is updating all of the accounts that I do legitimately use
Yeah.
from the old email address to the new one.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
good story.
Cool story, bro.
Sorry, the Sudafed is hitting me, and I think I'm.
Well, we can talk about what we. So this is going to be a different show.
It is?
It is, because we're going to do that thing that I always yell at Denise about, and that's be eating on mic.
I see.
because the three of us spent a. Right
Sorry.
there?
Yes.
Everybody coming together now?
Yes. I wanted to set.
Everybody get that?
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're positive?
Everything's fine.
TBH,
Okay.
bro. I need you to quit moving.
All right, that's a good segue.
That's a good segue. So the three of us spent basically a long weekend in Seattle. So as folks remember, like well over a year ago, there was the announcement of Mission Log Seattle, and we got all excited. And reserved a hotel over a year in advance, like right by the convention center. It was going to be great. Star Trek convention.
Can see it out the window.
We're at the Paramount Hotel. It's all fucking coming up Millhouse, and then it came down Barclay. Thanks.
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you. Like months and months went by, and we were all like, "When are they going to announce the tickets?" Because if you type in, Star Trek Mission Log Seattle, it still just forwards to like Reed Pop's "Thanks for coming to Mission Log Chicago" page, and then
it had a countdown page for Mission Log Seattle. It's like, this is coming up. We'll have more information soon. It's like,
okay, great.
You've said that for 7 months.
Yeah. And then like life happens and we all kind of forgot to keep checking on things. And then I started seeing in the Twitterverse around January of this year, because it was supposed to happen in, May. Duh.
Yeah.
Right.
Last weekend. I started seeing on the Twitterverse of like, what about the tickets what about my airfare? What about this? What about that? From like Trek nerds. I'm like, what? And then, Reed Pop had canceled Mission Log Seattle, and they didn't really ever give a real good reason. Like they claimed like the convention center is not ready, which is bullshit because Emerald City was held there.
Yeah, they've
in March,
been using it
in February. Yeah, it's been being used. I have my theories as to why I think it was canceled. My theory being, I don't think Reed Pop has ever worked with a company that's required that much of a media license.
Yep.
I think Paramount's like, yeah, you do it, but we're taking this cut. And Reed Pop is only used to screwing over people. They're not used to being on the other end of having to pay money. They just take money.
Yep.
Or they create a pop culture website that then they put shit behind a paywall.
Yep.
By the way, FYI, I know I've got friends who work there. I am never paying for a fucking Popaverse membership. Ever. That entire website is a giant advertisement for Reed Pop.
Popaverse?
The Popaverse, yeah. I'm not... It ain't happening.
What?
I don't want to know what it is.
What do they have? What does it
Nothing.
do?
Nothing. They report the same as every other site. They've got... some of the people who write the articles are actually really good. I'm hoping they're getting paid decently to do it. Because I'm never paying money to get past the paywall for a Reed Pop website. I'm just not. Especially when they're covering like breaking news and shit. Like, look, say what you will about Bleeding Cool, but at least he doesn't charge you for reporting what is essentially like shit you can find out on Twitter anyway. Because if there's one thing common people can't do, it's keep their mouth shut when something blows up. Unless it affects their jobs, then they keep real quiet.
Well, sometimes.
Or their potential jobs.
Yes.
Down the road.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They go all Damon Lindelof on it.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, the Variety article that dropped today about how Lost was an incredibly abusive set to everyone. And a lot of it's directed at him. And he's like, but I've done a lot of personal growth and moved on. And we're like, so you made like certain cast members' lives hell. And you still got to do Watchmen. There was no repercussions for you being trash, apparently. Sounds about white.
It's a pretty industry standard.
Especially if you're not a person of color or a woman, because you have to be perfect all the time if you're that, and always have a hit. Anyway, we had fun in Seattle.
Yeah, we did.
So we couldn't go to the Trek show, but we're like, oh fuck it, we've already got a room, so let's get Geek in the City out on the Emerald City.
Woo!
We had our own away mission.
God damn it, that's so much better than what I just said.
I've been saying it for weeks.
Yes. Also,
My brain is like Swiss
really
cheese right now.
Is Geek in the Emerald City?
Huh?
Geek in the Emerald City.
Yeah. So we had fun. No,
I thought it was pretty good.
no, it
It's
was
good.
good. It was good. That was very
Whatever.
good. No, it was good.
No.
Oh, jeez. AKA, we went to all of Denise's old bars.
Yes.
We did do that.
We did do
Actually,
that.
no. We technically only went to one of my old bars.
Yes, we did.
But boy, did we make it count.
You
Yeah, we
pointed
did.
out several
Yeah, you did point out several bars and
Yes.
places.
that were your regulars.
Look, I was in my 20s and I lived downtown.
Yeah, no, it's-
Those were my hobbies and interests.
it was just funny. Like every other building was like, oh, this was it. I used to live in this one. Yep. But yeah, the bar we went
Good
to was
tour, huh?
actually was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who live in Portland, try to imagine the horse brass, but shrunk to like an eighth of its size.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wonderfully charming.
I'd give them a shout out. I know we have listeners.
Yeah, do it.
in the area, or listeners who maybe travel there. The place is called the White Horse Tavern, or White Horse Inn. It's legally a bookstore.
Oh,
That's
is it like one of those things
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where they're like, la 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 la?
I mean, I guess I
This
don't know
is true.
how.
There was signage throughout the store that says, "If you are interested in purchasing a book, please inquire at the at the counter
Yeah.
to sell books."
I wasn't sure how true that might still be, but it's the same. It's been the same owner for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So
We sampled some
Probably.
dandelion wine that he, well, wait,
that he.
bought.
Yep.
Same with the mead that he
Yep.
purchased from a perfectly legal meadery and Vinters location.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a couple doors down from the infamous Kells, of which we have a
Infamous?
couple in Portland also, but it's much more chill.
The bar we went to.
Mhm.
Kells
Yeah.
is a tourist attraction,
Yes.
regardless of what city you're in.
Yeah, and
This place had locals.
Yes.
this did not look like a place that tourists would seek out.
I mean, well, in my experience, Kells was a local bar because I only went on weekdays.
Oh, right.
All
But-
bars are local bars during the week.
Ah,
That's
okay.
right.
I mean,
Mon-
that's a valid rule.
Yeah,
Yes.
Monday
Um,
through Thursday. Fridays are always pushing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're a tourist attraction if on weekends you can't get anywhere near the fucking bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really fun people there. But that was just one of the many things we did. The other thing we did, being all like nerds, is we got excited because we found an H Mart right by our hotel.
Mhm.
I mean, mainly it was nice because we all had like a sweet tooth, and hey, let's get some more drinks and whatnot.
Mhm.
I am the one, however, that is obsessed with non-American potato chips, and
Yep.
I was in heaven.
You went a little hog wild.
How dare
one
you.
might say.
Look, our H Mart here usually carries one or two, but like they had a section.
Yeah.
It's
whole-
like they knew I was
whole
coming.
area.
It all looked so delicious.
Weren't you under the impression that the H Mart location had taken over the grocery store that you used to frequent?
I believe I did think so at the time, but I thought about it more, and I don't think that was correct.
Okay.
Because that H Mart is on Pine, which runs east-westish, and the grocery store that I used to shop at, the doors were facing north, not east, like the H Mart does. So I don't think that was the same store. Very
Yeah.
similar style though, where you take escalators down from the street and boom, you're in a tiny grocery store.
I thought that the doors of the H Mart faced south because
They did,
It was-
Yes, sorry,
yeah,
south.
okay.
but it was still an escalator down.
which still meant no.
Well, in that case,
The other store.
east. The one I used to shop at faced east.
Oh, okay.
H Mart faced south.
Yeah, it was a good time. So we're gonna do the thing that I can't stand, and that is eat on mic because we're gonna sample all the chips. I mean, our full intention was to like eat them back at the hotel room one of the nights, but we always came home
Was
Just
stuffed.
not doing it.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I
That
thought we
was
were
your
going to eat
intent.
them that night, and then we didn't touch a one.
Nope, not a one. So we're gonna do it here.
Right.
It'll be exciting.
I do appreciate that Thursday night we had determined that whatever we were going to do is just going to be a chill night because that was the day that we arrived.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get to the hotel,
Oh,
have
yeah.
a dinner, and then we're just going to chill out. And the night that we decided to chill out, we discovered there was a television channel that showed back-to-back episodes of Star Trek from the 5 series that existed before Paramount Plus.
Yes.
So
the network was Heroes and Icons,
Yes.
aka the
the old man
the
channel.
old
Yes.
people channel.
Yep.
All of the commercials were for like life alerts.
Giant phones.
With the like pre-programmed phones, so you
Yeah.
can call your grandkids
Yeah,
without
yeah.
getting confused.
Yep.
Yeah.
Closed caption phones.
Closed captioning, and then a lot of ads for like Sunday movie of the week, which was always something to involve Tom Selleck.
Yep.
Or yeah. So it was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, like we managed to tune in the middle of a classic TOS episode, and then we're looking at the schedule. It's like
TOS was
Mud's Women.
Mud's Women, which goddamn, I forgot how uncomfortable Harry Mudd is in that episode.
That is Mud's origin. That was a season 1 episode.
Right.
He's a literal pimp.
He's bad.
Yeah, like
or should I?
Well, I remember
human trafficker.
yes.
Yeah, well, because I remember when he appeared on Discovery, even I was like, this Mudd is kind of evil and he's not funny. And they list his crimes. And I think Matthew Clark was like, go watch the original series episode.
Yeah.
And they list his crimes. They're like, he's not a good person. It's just, he's a little wackier and it's the 60s.
But he's only wacky in his second appearance.
Yeah, Mudd's Planet.
His first appearance, Mud's Women, he is like Rainn Wilson's portrayal makes so much more sense. It's like, oh, you're that Harry Mudd. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson is one of those actors, much like Robin Williams, who is probably better known for comedy, but can actually play it really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, he had a very short-lived set in Portland detective show where he lived on a boat. Essentially, I think in St. John's. I forget the name of it.
Like Portland, St. John's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not Stumptown, though?
No, he wasn't in that.
He was the lead. And
he was the lead.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, like based on the depiction of Harry Mudd in Mud's Women, it's like, oh, okay, that is Rainn Wilson's Harry Mudd.
That's where he took his
I understand where those cues are coming from, because now it's like, oh yeah, he was evil.
Right. He acts
malicious. He wasn't evil.
He acts like a charismatic guy who's, like mostly harmless, but no. His actions are not that.
It's as if you have to watch out for the very charismatic, happy people that are actually doing dirty shit when you're not looking.
That's why I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
So you always know that I'm not like secretly evil.
You know but that is, you're right. Mud's Planet, which is where he had androids.
And is it his wife? Harcourt.
Yep. Harcourt Fenton Mudd.
Harcourt.
Yes. That was definitely a more humorous Harry Mudd. Same with the animated series appearance of Harry Mudd.
Yes,
still the same
extra
actor.
Weird.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope. Norm just showed up, and he says that the name of that show was Backstorm.
It was
Backstorm.
I don't remember.
Oh, the Rainn Wilson one.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the TNG one was that was a season 1.
Sorry, Backstrom. I read that wrong.
I think it's the first appearance. Yeah, the first appearance of the Ferengi in season 1.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I forgot how bad they were. Like deeply bad.
Yep.
In like every way.
And that's why when you hear Armin Shimmerman talk about what he tried to talk Paramount out of when they were doing that, he tried to talk them out. It's like, please don't make this race this way. It's real bad. and they didn't listen to him. That they listened to him when they were like, "Hey, we want you to come do Deep Space Nine. Cool. What do you want me to be? Ferengi. Cool. So we're gonna do all the things I told you to do the first time."
Yeah, and thank God, because
And
like
they did.
It's
I always knew-
bad. It's just a little bit more bad, too bad. Like it has passed the cutoff for being so bad it's funny. And whatever comes after that, that's
Yeah,
where they are.
like,
with this.
yep.
I always knew, especially for a long time, Ferengi were clearly coded with all the horrible stereotypes that have been created by horrible people for Jewish and also some Middle Eastern people.
Yep.
Like, if the creators, the writers of who are doing that were not doing it consciously, then their subconscious is hella racist.
Yes.
Or it's just been steeped in it and they don't even realize it.
Yep.
There's already that.
And then the Deep Space Nine episode was a weird one.
Which I forgot.
Yeah, it was like season 2, season 3, and it was
by season 3 he had the goatee.
So it was season 2.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it again, but he was basically in. Cisco fell in love with a woman who was not actually a woman. She was a mental projection from a woman in a coma.
Right.
It was great.
Basically, she would go into like an out of body self.
Yep.
Second Sight.
Second Sight.
Second Sight. Yeah.
Voyager was Year of Hell Part 2, which we still agree. Year of
Should've been a
Hell
whole season.
should have been a whole fucking season.
Should have been a whole.
There's a lot of shoulda,
season.
coulda with Voyager.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second Sight, season 2, episode 9. So
And
they're still kind of regurgitating unused TNG episodes.
Yep. And then
And even if it's
Enterprise,
like a TNG set.
we didn't make it to. I'm pretty sure we fell asleep before.
Because
Year of
Enterprise
Hell
was like at
over.
midnight.
Yeah.
And it had been a long day for
Yep.
us. But we knew what it was. The Forge Part 2.
Oh, it was. Yes, it was.
Which is a solid episode.
No, it was the Forge Part 1.
Part 1. Which
Because the second part was. It was Part 1. It was called the Forge, but it was Part 1 and Part 2 don't have the same titles. It was essentially the.
was it Kalshara?
Kishara.
Kishara. Yeah.
Which is the Kishara is the vessel for carrying the Vulcan soul.
Was it? Or I thought it was just carrying Sarek's Katra.
Yeah, the Katra.
The Katra.
Yeah, the Kishara carries a Katra, and this specific one had.
Right.
Yeah, what's his name?
So interestingly, even though we don't watch Enterprise, I would say, in my opinion, out of all the Trek episodes, that's the strongest one that was airing that night.
It really was.
That's actually a good episode.
Better
Enterprise.
than Year of Hell?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Is it just because of Sarek?
No, I think part of it is I judge Year of Hell too harshly because it really should have been a whole damn season.
It's very dense.
And
I
what's
It doesn't
funny,
make it not good though.
Year of Hell
what's
Part
funny is
1 is better
it is.
of the two of them.
Yeah, part 1 is a little bit better. Part 2 gets super timey-wimey, and that's probably what throws it for me. Berman and Braga fucking adore time travel, and by then I'm like, I'm so done with you guys using time travel as the out. Yeah, I don't know how you would have done it without the time travel thing, but again, that's a whole like Year of Hell could have been a whole season, and you could have really done some fun stuff with it. But that's always been my beef with Voyager. So much potential, and then the writer is just kind of chicken out because they're told, look, DS9 already does this annoying serialized television. We don't want that. That's not that's Berman and Brock. That's not Star Trek. Star Trek is not serialized TV. It's episodic.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to get character growth on Voyager too.
Yeah.
Unless the actors pushed for it, kind of thing.
And but that was essentially our Trek convention.
Yeah,
that's true. It was
Which
good.
was nice.
A night of episodes.
Which I think is what distracted us from eating chips that night.
Right.
Maybe.
So
And then the following night,
Party.
we went to Denise's favorite old bar.
Yes.
Enough
And
said.
And I think that opening any bag of any chips was beyond any of our capacity later
by
that
the time we
evening.
got home.
Look, I was wounded.
We also went
I
to
know.
the Seattle Asian Art Museum.
We did.
Oh shit, that was on.
It wasn't all
Friday.
debauchery.
No, that was that's
Oh,
what we
tore
did in
one
the
up in the
daytime.
museum.
Yeah, because we went to the Seattle Asian Art Museum, which is housed where the original art museum was.
Right.
At by or in Volunteer Park.
In Volunteer Park.
Which I'd never been to. So those were all new experiences for me.
And that following that, I should mention, we lucked out because the last Saturday of every month, admission to that museum is free.
Yeah, that was cool.
So that's one of the reasons that definitely propelled it. It's like, hey, we can go do this cool cultural thing, and it's free.
And it's free.
It is cool that it was free, although part of me is a little bit annoyed that like the white people museum was not free, but the people of color museum was.
I think it's because of the month.
No, it's not. They said the last Saturday of every month, or last Friday of every month.
That could have been the tradition of that museum for a long time.
I will argue that
I think
I would rather make it free to encourage people to come out.
Right. That's why I'm like, well, there's only a part of me that feels that way because yes, when it is free, that means people who might not otherwise have the means to do so maybe will.
And there was a school field trip there that day.
That's right.
Well. Mm-hmm.
So
there was
like that. Like why has it got to be free? I am of the mindset, it's like museums should be free because the government should pay for it.
Yeah,
it should be free to the people.
It may also have rich patrons because rich people should not keep their money.
Right.
Put your name on the building. Fine. That's going to pay for it.
That's
but you don't get any sway on what we carry.
Yeah. The rich people who did this were the people who founded the Seattle Art Museum. Like they had an extensive amount of art from Asia. So that's why they went, well, if we're going to move this into the new facility in downtown, let's make this where we keep all of this artwork.
Right.
And it isn't just artwork from collected from Asia from over the years. It is also has a collection of modern contemporary
that was cool
art by Asians.
Mm-hmm. There's some really good pieces there.
Yeah. That oh man, that chainmail thing.
So imagine a huge robe that drapes around the floor like several feet in all directions around you.
A gown.
20-foot diameter, I felt like.
Yeah. Like it's just a huge train, but the whole garment, top to bottom, is made from nothing but dog tags.
Yep. That was amazing. I had never seen in person any work by Ai Weiwei.
Mm-hmm.
That was impressive. Like the art itself is like, yeah, okay, it's ceramics covered in industrial paint. However, it's the fact that Ai Weiwei is one of the most controversial contemporary artists out of China.
Mm-hmm.
That in and of itself, it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
It's like seeing a Warhol. Like Andy Warhol's technical prowess is fine.
Yeah.
It has more to do with what he did for contemporary art.
The cultural touch.
And less than what his actual work looks like.
And Weiwei does stuff that's literally a crime to the Chinese government. He will destroy Ming vases and then reassemble them to make a statement.
Right. That's the whole point of his notoriety, and he's been arrested several times.
Yes. So like that was impressive. It's like, oh shit.
There was another contemporary piece there, and I forget the creator's name, but they primarily work in film and video. And it was that giant black and white in that room with this video playing that was the arrival and the departure. It was huge. It was like 12 feet tall, maybe 20 feet tall, and he used all the composite of black and white 4K and just layered it just started as a beach seascape, and then he just layered on like coastal mountains that jut out of the water that probably exist, and instead of like nature, they're taking cranes and buildings and everything's going up.
Yes. I was like,
I
I want to
will-
go to there.
I know. I will fully admit that I am not smart enough to understand the statement. Maybe if I studied it longer and I knew the artist more, all I knew was this is gorgeous. It's emotionally moving me. And also, yes, that needs to be something in a role-playing game
Mhm.
that I totally incorporate into whether it be D&D or Star Trek. Like that's going to become a thing.
Well, that's part of why I love the placards so much because it adds a lot of context. For example, Cable, you had sat down to watch a video of performance art.
Mhm.
But when I walked by and you were sitting there, all I saw was dozens of naked people like running around in a circle, and the camera is like roughly at crotch level, tilted up a little bit, so you are still seeing like tops and faces.
It's meant to make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Well, at first I was like, what sort of fucking wackadoo artist shit is this?
Just say you want to record dongs and move on.
But then I read the placard and learned about how it was, if I remember correctly, an Asian American fellow who had emigrated
Mhm.
at a very early age.
He's Chinese. He's from Beijing. He lives in New York, I believe, and travels back and forth. So he has
And
dual citizenship.
I see. And a lot of his art is centered around that duality of, like, well, he's not really Chinese and he's not really American. And there's still the assimilation that you have to deal with and being treated different culturally. And so by the time they get to like the climactic point of this art piece, which is where all of the naked white people are like on these rafters
They're on scaffolding.
pointing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's
Scaffolding.
3 levels of scaffolding.
And the artist sits down in the middle of the area that all the scaffolding faces because it's kind of a horseshoe shape. And then they just start pelting him with pieces of bread, and I almost cried because the placard helped me, see like what is the story that he's telling here, and why is this ostensibly, like objectively, like bizarre ass thing that he's doing? Why does it matter, and why does it give you bad feelings?
Right.
This is exactly why some of my favorite art is performance art and installation art, and it is because it is ephemeral. It exists only for that period of time, like the period of time that the performance takes, or for as long as the installation is installed, and then it's gone. And you are left with your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, and your memories of this, but nothing else. You can take photographs, it's not the same. And it will never be the same. And that is
although if you have photo and video, it can help you recall those feelings.
Yes.
Like for example, I had suggested the Can, not realizing how expensive it is. It's a really wonderful cabaret venue, like under the market, and I still remember the very first performance that I saw there because I also am a really big fan of performance art. And I think that dance and music is also a form of that. It's not just like, oh, it's just dancing. And I'm still moved by that first show that I ever saw there, and like just how beautiful it was, and like I'll never see that again. But parts of it in my shitty ass brain managed to stay in here, and those make me happy.
Yeah, no, I get that. I don't know what else to add on that one, but you're correct.
I like that we all had different experiences and different things that moved us in this place.
Yeah.
And the fact that I got to share that experience with you, both of you, is also like I'm not going to have that again. I mean, I'm going to have experiences with you again, but that was very special.
Right.
So
yeah,
I do appreciate how much of a guide that you were, Denise, throughout our trip there. It's great.
Okay, I'm glad you felt that way.
Yeah.
No, it was great.
You were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it was very special to have you do that for us. And because I think Aaron and I have talked about this a lot, that most of our visits to Seattle have all been comic book work based.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't get out in the city much.
No, not really.
No, I think the last time I the very last time I went to Seattle was with Merrick, and it was a day trip. We went up for ramen, and then we went to Mopop,
Mhm.
and then we went home. Um,
Which we also did.
yeah,
And
You
we
know
did.
what's funny is Christian asked me before we'd left. He's like, "Are you guys gonna go to Mopop?" And I was like, "Fucking Mopop! Everyone's been there like a million times." But we
they
did
always-
it, and it was great.
Yeah, they always kind of change it up a little
Yes,
bit.
it is
Yep.
always a little bit different.
But the thing that was hilarious is that Cable offered to buy that, and Denise is like, "Oh, let me find my," because they have a veterans ticket pass, and she couldn't find.
well, no, I just wanted to see if I could order them online faster than the long ass line that.
But
we were
still, once we
standing
got
Yeah.
there, we were, Cable's like, "Well, one of us is a veteran," and Denise is going through her personal stuff to try to find her her veterans card, which she can't. And I joke, I'm like, "Just show them your prescriptions. If you have one of those from the VA, you can only get that one way. I guess you can be a spouse as a veteran."
Yep.
But the person, we're not going to say their name, obviously. Plus, we don't remember it. The person who rung us up saw Cable's Starfleet Arrowhead and maybe my command stripes and went, "Well, you're all military. You're Starfleet."
What he said to us was, well, Starfleet is not exactly a military organization, but there you go.
Service
said-
is service.
He said the amount, and in my head, I'm like, that's not even the right amount if they only gave it to Denise.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first was, oh, he's just going to go ahead and
Yeah.
make sure that Denise's service is recognized. But no, he handed all three of us military discounted tickets.
That's right.
So
Whee!
Well, it wasn't a away mission.
it was an away mission, but
Mhm,
that's like, that is not something I would have ever asked for or
No.
ever because that's scammy of scamming. I'm not going to argue with a person who's choosing to go,
No.
here's a discount we're just going to give you.
It
It's
makes
like,
me wonder how many times they've done this. If they see someone in any kind of Starfleet regalia,
yeah, I don't know.
they seem like
mean,
the type.
It
And-
has a permanent star. Oh no, it used to have a permanent.
It
Star
used to have a
installation.
permanent-
It
Now
was
it's
the
just part
home.
of the sci-fi.
Yeah, but it started there.
Mm.
Like, that exhibit was birthed at Mopop
Yeah.
and now travels.
And now travels. So like, yeah, because all they have now is Nimoy's tunic.
Yeah, that was what Merrick and I went up to Seattle for, was specifically the Star Trek exhibit.
That's one of mine and Jen's one of our first out of town like dates was she surprised me because that's when they had like the chair, not a remake.
Yep.
Like they had
Oh,
the
that's
captain's
right.
chair, they had props, they had scripts.
They had the bridge.
They did, yeah.
They had a lot of.
They had a
the
lot of the
bridge.
bridge. They hadn't built the whole bridge
Mm-mm.
because
They-
that's over on Starship Ticonderoga. over
That's
in-
true.
Or Ticonderoga, New York, which
Yep.
I really want to go to.
Yep.
That's also when they had the Borg regeneration spots you could plug yourself into,
Yeah,
and they had built a Jeffries tube you could crawl through.
Yes. Oh
which
yeah,
is
everyone takes a picture in there.
Yep.
Yep.
I can picture mine in my head.
This is one of the first time I've been to Mopop, and I didn't start crying at various exhibits, which I often do because I'm a softie.
Mm-hmm.
But being the dorks we are, we went to the horror section, and they're just projecting on the wall the top 100 the 100 horror films you need to watch before you die.
Mhm.
And most people don't stay for the entire thing, but we did, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." And one was like, "I haven't seen that one. Put that one on the list."
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I still need to do that. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to get access to that list, and I can check off the ones I've seen and start tackling the ones that I haven't.
Yeah.
Although, you know what I really wish I could do is have that list in one of those. I know it's kind of hokey, but I like them. Those big posters with the scratch off, like a
yeah.
lottery scratcher.
Oh yeah.
And that way I can like cross off the ones that I did and give you like a little picture of the thing once you scratch it out.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of the ones that I haven't seen were foreign films
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
or films made before 1940.
Yeah. Like Haxon. You have to see Haxon.
Mhm.
It's fucking weird, but it's great.
But like I had seen both Nosferatu, the original, and the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Mm.
And my unpopular opinion is Caligari is far superior to Nosferatu.
No, I like Nosferatu more, but only because of memories surrounding the first time I saw it.
Mhm.
Um,
I watched both of them at home on DVD.
yeah,
Thanks,
no, the
Nick.
first time I saw it, I was probably way too young. I was part of my library's like kids summer reading program, and we read the illustrate. And mind you, I'm like 6, and the librarian's like, "Do you guys like Dracula?" And we're like, "Yeah." So she read, because we're thinking, Dracula, blah. When you're 6, it's not that scary because the way he's presented.
Mm-hmm.
And she read like the illustrated classics version of Dracula, which has some horrific scenes. And then she says, "Do you want to see the first movie based on Dracula?" And we're like, "Yeah." And
when you were 6?
yeah.
Okay.
And they showed the library. I love this library. This library has such an influence on me. Does. It was one of only 2 places that Susanville had a refuge, an event. They both became book places, the library and then Marky's Book Nook. But like, it was a silent film. So almost every kid there is just bored to death. Except for me and another young girl that I was friends with. Her name was also Erin. And we're just transfixed by what we're watching. And I had nightmares for weeks about it. Because like just Shrek with just the long shadows and oh my God, it's horrifying.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
I was going to see if I barely cast a shadow.
I know. I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, I can't. Well, let's take a break. We'll come back with the chips.
Yeah, let's do that.
But before we take a break, I don't think we mentioned after the museum, we got to visit Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee's gravesite, which is literally like 300 yards away from the museum.
Yeah,
on the other side of the park.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the cemetery. And
it's weird to say that was cool to see, but like it was cool to see. Like I grew up on Bruce Lee movies, and I am a child of The Crow. Like that came out during Aaron's peak goth phase.
Yeah, that stands to reason.
It's a mecca for a lot of things, like people who would just like are into like their Northwest celebrities, martial arts fans, and the goths.
Yeah, I mean, plus like
also Asian Americans.
Yep.
Also Asian.
And also like a big nerd thing, like The Crow was filmed in Atlanta, and at the time that was the headquarters for White Wolf.
Oh yeah.
And if you watch The Crow, a lot of the symbols spray painted in the background are Vampire the Masquerade or Mage the Ascension symbols, because a lot of people who worked on the movie were nerds that played the role-playing games. You're like, that's Clan Tremere painted back there, or
nice.
Yeah, that's the technocracy, warning. Yeah. So it, hit on many levels. It was very cool to see.
Cool.
Well, yeah, we'll come back with
chips,
food.
Woo!
We'll be right back.
Well, hello.
You son of a bitch! You did that on purpose.
No, I hit it, and it takes a while for it to go away. There was no stopping it, Bean. Welcome back.
So while we were break, I was giving around the visual image of me on Devil's Night, probably circa 1995, a year after The Crow came out, doing my best Eric Draven. Like past my shoulder length hair, all black, full makeup, black mesh top, wrapped in lots of black electrical tape, black leather pants and boots, just walking around downtown Portland.
I used to wrap my arms in the electrical tape.
Mhm.
Like I'd wear a black long sleeve turtleneck, and then I would wrap my
Yep.
arms up.
Yep.
Well, on that, that's awesome. That's fine.
Yeah. Have fun trying to imagine me with hair, kids.
It's terrifying, by the way.
Weird.
It's weird. So while at the break, I went ahead and opened all these first because we're already gonna be loud enough as it is.
Yes.
That means we have to eat them all now. Once you open the bag.
See, I told you.
Once you pop, you
Can't stop. All right, so I think these are all Lay's brands, though.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah, they are. So, all right, we're gonna start with this one, which is
Myungkan crab roast.
Which translates into what?
I have no idea,
Fantastic.
but it looks like ingredients you would put in your own bowl of pho, maybe as you go.
It does look like a bowl of pho.
Yeah.
Or,
Ugh.
what are those peanuts on there? I think.
I don't know. All right, so
That's
we're
a good
gonna
start.
let's do a little bit. I'm gonna grab one and we'll pass it around, and then we're going to annoyingly eat them all at the same time on mic.
Nom nom nom.
Okay.
So get ready, people. Oh, it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Green onion.
Yeah, and some lime.
Mhm.
They're really good at creating lime flavor for chips. I've gotten really good at it. All right, I dig these.
Mhm.
I don't know. Are we going to create a scale?
Yeah, none of that comes across in the smell.
No.
There's no nose to it.
By the way, if you have an H Mart, you can go looking for all these. I also found out you can go to the Lay's website.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to pay for it, you can build your own variety pack of
Oh,
every
shit.
flavor they have, apparently. And you were so excited about that.
Super exciting.
I am.
I give this a solid 7.
I
I'll
know.
give it a 7.
Okay.
All right, let's move on here. Oh, now these were super bougie and expensive compared to the
Right.
size.
This was a gold bag.
So I just read it is part of the Lay's Tokyo cuisine line.
Okay.
And this is
You got like 3 bags of those. 3 bags.
2.
2 that were Tokyo?
There's
I
only
thought
2.
there's a through.
No, just 2. If there were 3, I forgot the other one.
All right.
And this one is
Mentaiko chicken.
Cable. Do you know what mentaiko is?
I don't.
Because
I know-
taiko's. No, that's not octopus. That's taco.
Yeah, taco.
Ooh, that was loud. All right, so I'm gonna pass this around. It's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Quality podcasting.
Crumbs.
Okay. Here we go.
That. Mm-hmm. Sweet
Again, not much of a
Mm-mm.
nose.
Whoa, that
Mm.
tastes more like salmon to me than chicken.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like a meaty, savory vibe.
I don't know how I feel about these.
There's a little spice.
A little bit of spice, not much. I'll go back for a refill here just to see. It tastes like salmon to me, not chicken.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I don't disagree.
Mm,
It
I know.
takes a while for the heat to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these ones aren't doing it for me.
All right.
They're 5 for me.
Okay.
I don't know. All right. All right. Going to this one now. It's thrilling. This one is just hot chili squid.
Yeah, excited for that.
Yeah.
All right.
And I wish I was better at knowing which country these are from. I am assuming this kind of looks like Laotian, Vietnamese writing. I don't know. I'm such an ugly American. At least I'm trying. Not being like it's Asian. All right.
Norm says he really enjoys the hot mustard Doritos.
I haven't tried them yet. I've tried the spicy ketchup, but not.
Now these are ruffled.
Oh, which is the superior shape
Yep.
for all chips. Okay, so far I like
They
the
smell
smell.
spicy.
They smell good.
Yep.
Oh,
This smells like it smells like the sweet chili sauce.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, tastes like it too. Ooh.
Mhm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This tastes like at Sushi Ichiban when you get the fried calamari with their hot chili paste on it, sauce on it.
Huh. I get the hot chili sauce. And I shouldn't say hot because it's not a hot chili
No, it's
sauce.
not
It's
hot.
a sweet chili.
Yeah.
Sweet chili sauce. I am not getting the squid flavor.
It smells stronger than it tastes.
Yeah.
Very mild flavor.
I'm getting it a little bit. Sounds all wanky. I'm getting it on the back end.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get the
yeah,
chili,
I'm
you get
not-
the
I'm not so
chili.
much, but yeah.
All right. Since I gave those first ones a 7, these are probably a 6 for me.
Mhm.
6.5. Okay, this claims to be the hottest one. This is just ghost pepper.
I would say if that's the hottest one,
Should we wait?
Yeah.
All right, let's wait.
because I don't want to screw up my palate
Yeah, if it's
for
legit
everything
hot.
else.
All right, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're gonna start with sour twist.
Ooh.
Sour twist.
I feel
Looks
like
like
this
It
is
just
there's
looks
some
like a
red
chili
pepper.
limon flavor,
this seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. Yeah.
which I'm all about.
Ooh, this smells like chili limon, but better. Which I know is a bold statement to say around Denise.
I love. Well,
I'm putting more in because if she likes them, she's gonna want more.
yes.
All right, I'm gonna pass these around. No.
Okay, it smells.
Oh, Beck said the first one was supposed to be cilantro heavy salsa with heavy lime flavor. How do you know that, Bex?
Bex goes to H Mart, and that's her favorite. I don't know.
Or
Do
she's been
not-
holding
She
out
can-
on her
she can
language.
read
ability.
Do not doubt Bex.
I'm not. I'm just curious.
If I have learned anything from our listeners,
No, I know.
don't doubt Bex.
Smells like chili and lime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ooh, a little sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet's a big component. I guess because they want all the flavors to hit. Oh,
Pretty substantial lime flavor.
yeah.
Oh,
Little heat on the end.
yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Bex says she now wants that on a shirt. Never doubt Bex. I'm gonna take the whole one there. Take it.
Mhm.
I like
Nice.
these.
I think these are my favorite so far.
Yeah, I agree so far. All right, these have taken the top spot.
Okay.
For now.
What are you giving that number wise?
Oh.
I'm going to say 9, 10. Not. You don't want to say 10 without trying everything else.
Well, there could be other 10s.
Exactly.
Yeah. Solid 8.
But then
I'm
what
gonna-
if there's something that you like better, but you've already handed the 10? Like, do you go?
No, you
past
can have
10?
more than 110.
But what if you give one a 10 and then you like the next one even more? But there's nowhere to go. You've already you've already made it to the top.
But Denise, that's why it goes to 11.
Why not just make the highest one 10?
Because it goes to 11.
Fuck it. I'm giving them a 10. They hit all the check boxes that I would want on a chip like that. Okay. So,
Not as limey as just straight up Lay's lime. But
crikey, not as limey. Good. Colonize this. And
You-
Dean, for the last week or so, you've been killing it with the phrases, whether you know it or not.
My brain is tired, so I probably.
Okay, we're going back to
the
oh
Tokyo.
gold
no, this
label.
one's Taipei cuisine. So they must have an entire line.
Okay. Yeah, so it's the gold bag line.
Yeah.
Spicy pepper squid.
Oh, now this one, Bean, you were downstairs when I opened this, and it assaulted me with the aroma the moment it opened. I was like, whoa.
This
I
one
think this
I'm
is the one
actually
that I
excited
picked.
for.
Okay.
Was it?
I think
Okay.
so, yeah. I don't know. There was a lot of grabbing of bags and.
I know I didn't pick any of them because this is not usually my.
Well, I hope we
Jam.
like them because I support too.
It's more that I don't care about potato chips. I'm sorry, potato chip.
Oh, I
lovers.
love
The
potato
potato chips
chips.
are my weakness.
Yeah.
Again, this is another ridged potato chip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, as always, does provide the superior flavor. And is
There's
the better
more
for,
places for flavor to hide.
and for dipping. If you have plain ruffles and you want to dip,
This is true.
It's a strong.
this is
Cumin
supposed to be
Smell?
spicy pepper squid.
It's a very familiar herb smell on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it is earthy.
But also kind of sweet.
Some Thai curry style. Mmm. All right. All right. They're not as strong as I thought they would be. Like that
Mm-mm.
Tokyo one was just too much. Norm, you're right. So
Most Americans are little whiny babies.
Yeah,
And they're
so
not gonna, they
apparently-
don't buy it.
Bill Oakley has actually looked into this. Why? And that's exactly it. They can't. Americans won't do it. So it's just not worth the money. They lose money on them.
Yep.
Mhm. Those are good.
Those are
Very
good.
bold flavor.
Yeah.
Not do it. Get them all.
Oh god.
I'm giving these a 9. I really liked them. I wasn't sure I would because when I first opened it, like it was like sticking my nose in like a squid tank. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
that's what you said. And I'm sitting on the other side of the room and you're like, do you want to smell this? I'm like,
Or
I can smell it the second you open the bag.
Right.
I'm over here.
Oh, all right. Next up, I thought we'd done this one. We haven't. I'm not too excited for this one because it seems basic. This one's just called Extra Barbecue.
Extra barbecue. Okay.
Yeah, but again, it's an image of like shrimp and lime. So, you
Who
know,
picked that one? You or me?
I don't remember anymore. I was in a haze, Bean. I
It
was
a
in
frenzy of chip excitement.
You say that like that wasn't true.
No, I'm saying it because that is what it was.
That's what it was. I was so excited.
We weren't even drunk at the time.
No,
No.
I was drunk on chips.
I think the only thing that I had said is we need to wait to go to H Mart until after we eat, which
so that we
did.
wouldn't
Smart.
go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if we hadn't.
All
We-
the popcorn we would have bought.
Mm. I hate you guys.
That is a
That's-
private joke.
It is, and it will
For
stay
us.
private. Right?
Oh, I recognize this scent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Smells like a barbecue chip.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to write home about.
Not my least favorite, but like in the bottom 3, I think.
Oh, it might be my least
I
favorite.
don't want to give them points. I would rather rank them, which definitely requires.
Oh, like Alton Brown style. These might be my least favorite. They've got a weird aftertaste to me. I can't quite place it, but I don't like it. No, sir. We only got 2 more
I'm
left.
starting to lose flavor in parts of my mouth,
Oh.
which is funny because it's not that hot. None of them were that
Yeah,
hot,
Norm-
but
They even quit selling all dressed here.
which is a damn shame.
It's perhaps Ruffles' best chip for North America. Spoilers also, all dressed are just ketchup chips and vinegar chips. Like the spices are those mixed in.
Which is weird because I don't really care for ketchup chips and I do not like vinegar.
Yeah.
Or anything really.
I mean, it's the same spices, but that they do a different ratio.
Mm.
Okay. This is the one I've been the most curious about.
Mm-hmm.
This is roasted cumin lamb skewers.
Yep.
Yes.
This does sound good.
Yeah, this one. God damn, that's cumin. Fucking hey, man. I want to make fucking sopa out of these chips.
Mm.
I've heard that cumin's a very divisive flavor for people. Some people think it just tastes like socks, which I find
Most people
offensive.
are wrong.
What?
Yeah. That's what I have to like. I don't want to be eating socks. I'm like, so what do you do with your socks? What is wrong with your feet?
Do they not like flavor?
Well, I mean, I'll give you one guess.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a brown person. Who
Cumin's
says that.
probably the only thing I use more than salt.
I use so much cumin. Yeah. It's a secret ingredient in all carnitas.
Oh yeah, you can taste the cumin.
Oh my God, so much cumin.
Mm.
Mm. I almost wish it had less lamb flavor. I'm so in love with the cumin. I'm like, can I just have cumin chips, please?
Yeah.
Which is weird, right? Cumin is not like a snack flavor.
Says you.
Ryan just said buy it by the tub.
I
That's
just
right.
told you I use cumin probably more
Yeah,
than I use salt, and yet I'm like I don't consider
Cumin's the
it a
only
snack.
spice I buy in the big old giant like chef's kitchen size. And I know it will not go stale by the time I get to it. Oh, look, there's a little bit left here.
Those are really yummy.
Those are good.
I use. I don't use as much cumin as you do. I do use more cumin than probably most people that were raised by white people.
Yes. Probably.
Yes, probably. I'm trying to think. Top 3 spices you think you use the most. Then we'll get to the final chip.
Do salt and pepper count, or those
No.
are just okay?
Oh, shit. Non-liquid. Otherwise, fish sauce would always be in my top 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely cumin.
Yeah.
We're talking just like ground spices.
Spices, not sauces.
Okay.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Cumin. Oh my God! Now I'm blanking on any spice that exists in this world. Smoked paprika is probably up there. Use the most. You said use the most, right?
Yeah.
Not like just like the most.
I can go if you want. I got them in my
Go
head.
ahead.
So for me, it's probably cumin. Probably you're right. Smoked paprika. It's not hot, but you can play with the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And then as basic as it is, probably garlic. Although as the most part, I prefer to use fresh garlic than dried garlic. I only
Sure.
use dried garlic on certain, like on rubs.
So are you talking about granulated garlic and not garlic salt? Because those are two
Correct.
different things.
Correct.
Yep.
No.
Whatever
I
you-
use granulated garlic as well.
If you use
Really quick.
if you use garlic salt, it
We're
gonna
gonna
get
get to
really
the ghost
tricky. Okay.
But go
It
ahead.
gets really tricky to know how much salt to put in.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking of garlic powder either because even though I do buy it in the larger containers, I mostly just use fresh garlic.
So with some people with
Alder smoked salt. All
Um,
right, Ryan. It is good though.
what's it called? Autoimmune disorders.
Turmeric?
No, if you using too much fresh garlic can trigger a response.
In people who have autoimmune
Yes.
disorders. Oh.
Cable and I both know this person not very well, but they can't have any onion or garlic because it triggers issues with them.
Are they a vampire? Is there autoimmune disease that they are a vampire?
No, they have degenerative bones.
Yeah.
Oh, now you've made us joke sad.
They would laugh at that though.
Okay.
I mean, the person I was talking about is a vampire, which we discovered during
At
our,
Mopop.
our
Yep,
trip at
yep.
Mopop.
Because apparently they modeled for the vampire icon.
Yeah,
Right.
so if you're ever at Mopop and checking out the horror portion,
Yeah.
they've got a wall of like illustrations of monsters with
the
descriptions,
archetypes of-
of each of the monster types, and the one for vampire looks startlingly like Merrick.
I think I even said, Cable, did Merrick pose for
you
this
did.
shot?
That was exactly what you said, and then I took a photo of it and sent that with what you said to Merrick, and she laughed. She did not deny it.
See? That's where she goes with a knight. Where'd Merrick go? She's modeling for Mopop.
I mean, I say this a lot. Sometimes people will comment. It's like, wow, you look really good. Oh yeah, I'm this age. They're like, are you a vampire? I'm like, no, my partner's the vampire. I'm a lich. And then I walk off, and then they're like, wait, what just happened? What do you mean yours is a vampire? What? But yes, for the record, Merrick is a vampire. I'm a lich.
I'm a werewolf.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
Yeah. Well, I don't even fucking sleep during full moons.
Uh-huh.
All right. This is the ghost pepper one. Here we go. Doesn't smell hot.
Mm-mm.
Yes, and I think officially, like, salt,
It's sweet.
pepper, garlic,
Oh, sorry. I'm right.
onion powder,
Okay.
are probably like the ones I do technically use the most, but they're like, and cumin, but they're like a base, right? Like I don't even count them as like
It's like the Trinity.
spices. They're just in there. They're
Yeah.
supposed to be in there.
That's just what exists in
and
everything.
then from there you add other flavors.
This has heat on the
Mhm.
back end. That's where it shows up. And it has that smokiness that ghost peppers naturally have.
It has it at the front end too. There's like when you first put it in, there's the tingle at the
almost-
tip of your tongue,
It's almost bitter.
all the way around.
And then it goes away. Those are good.
Yeah.
They are hot.
If you killed a bag of these, you'd have the numb mouth for a little bit.
Yeah.
My mouth is numb right now.
I like them.
Mhm.
I actually like them because I feel like this is the first time I've seen a chip that says it is ghost pepper and lives up to it. Like there's those Pocky chips that do their ghost pepper one.
Mhm.
They're hot. Pockies, is that what they're called? The brand?
Takis.
No. Pocky. They sell them here.
Paqui. Pocky.
Oh,
Pocky.
yeah.
So they have a ghost pepper one,
Yes.
which is hot, but it has no flavor.
Correct.
It's just heat and the natural corn of the chip.
I dislike them because of that.
Yeah.
I tried to eat a bag and I'm like, this is too hot to eat. I don't want to finish this. It took me 2 days to eat it. And I'm like, this didn't taste good. It's just hot.
That's the thing. I can handle. I don't know what my upper threshold is for heat. As long as you give me like flavor, not to be all like hot ones here, but like their last dab is super fucking hot, but it tastes good. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
Unless you're a handful of people who just go, yeah, that was all right.
I mean, that's me.
That,
I'm like, that's good. I mean, it's hot, but I'm like, that's good.
You guys must have a higher tolerance than I do because my mouth is just burning. I don't really feel like I got a lot of other flavor. Just the heat.
oh, I
I
got
got
flavor.
flavor.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an 8. I like it.
At
a lot.
first, but
Like mine is still tingling,
Oh yeah.
but it's not, oh my God, this is unsufferable. This is like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It
I had something hot. It was good.
Should be that tingly.
and
you know what I like?
I get a
It's-
little bit of flavor at the beginning, but then it's just hot and like bordering on uncomfortably.
Which is how your mouth registers pain for your brain, not pain.
You know, I just saw it was probably a TikTok about how people who it was a joke, but basically it was like people who like spicy things basically just like self-torture.
Huh.
Because
Well, I mean, maybe. Sure.
because technically we can only taste sweet, salt, umami. What are the other ones?
Sweet, salt, umami, and bitter.
Isn't there 5?
Sweet,
Tart?
salt, bitter. I think it's umami. I think that's.
Right, definitely umami.
I'm gonna look at it.
Anyway, but spicy is not one of those tastes.
Oh, you're right.
that we
Sweet,
receive.
salty, sour, bitter, and umami.
Sour, not tart. Yeah, spicy is not on the list, and so basically, they're saying people who like spiciness just like to hurt themselves.
I mean, maybe. Although apparently that's my only one though. I am not to go too deep into Aaron. I am never one who would get excited at like candle play or any kind of pain play. I'm like, no, I don't want any of that.
I'm not going to elaborate one way or the other.
Well, too late. Laid it all out for myself. I think
Sorry.
I've talked about it on the show before too. I will always associate any form of pain with being in trouble because my parents ruled through the threat of physical violence.
So did mine.
Just saying. So, yeah, I have no association with like, ooh, this could be fun and sexy. Like, no, that just means that things are bad. Things have gone bad.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I really haven't explored that. I do have to admit I have a certain fascination with electrical play.
I got
So there's
electrocuted once, and that anything I might have had went away.
I'm like, oh, I'm scared for you now, Cable.
Oh, I did too.
Can I have the lemony one? The lime one?
Yeah, no, that's
That's it. That was
that's all of them, guys. I know it's kind of weird.
Nom.
Was it?
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
going to answer your question too.
Oh, yeah, right.
Definitely garlic powder. I feel like it's a toss-up between smoked paprika and cumin. And probably oregano.
Ooh, I love oregano. Italian or Mexican? And know that there is only one correct answer.
I've been typically getting Mexican oregano.
That's very good. That's correct.
I didn't realize there was a difference until I saw there's a difference.
Mexican oregano is a bit more earthy.
Yeah,
And
I like
Italian
the flavor
oregano
of
is more green, I guess.
Yeah.
I prefer, is it Vietnamese or Thai parsley over
basil.
Basil. That's right. There's so many versions of basil.
Yep.
It's fun.
Thai basil is definitely what you want to use when making almost anything that is a dish from Asia, and you want that flavor.
Yeah.
On
the flip
European
side, anything
style.
Mediterranean, you're going to use Italian or Mediterranean or Greek. basil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're different.
I feel like if you made a margarita pizza, but with like Thai basil, like your brain would go, "What? Wait a minute, this is weird."
I would, it would immediately go, I want different flavors to go along with this.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would be bad, but I feel like your brain would be like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah. I think turmeric would be a strong new contender.
Mm-hmm. Turmeric is the secret ingredient in El Pollo Loco.
Is it just for color?
That makes
and a little
sense.
bit of flavor, but they're always everything I've read. They're like, if you wonder how they do it, they put turmeric in it. Just like how I kind of love this. There's no ketchup in Big Mac sauce.
Fascinating.
All the color comes from paprika.
Yeah,
such dorks. Oh, when my eyes bugged out, I realized something. Looking at someone who did a diagram of the 5 flavors, you could do a food-based expansion of Magic the Gathering with each of the 5 flavors representing a color of mana, and you just do it as a secret lair.
Yeah.
See? Oh man.
And then you can have like,
Wizards, if you'd only hired me when I applied for that job, but now I've copywritten it.
Salty sweet deck.
Oh my god, yeah. Where do you plan? Bitter and umami? Ah, fuck. Gonna need my salty and sour to fight it back.
Yep.
Mono sour.
Yeah, it must be hard and impossible to have a mono umami deck because by default, umami kind of needs other flavors for it to stand out.
Tell that to mushrooms.
Yeah, but do you like just plain mushrooms? Or do you cook them with like butter or olive oil, or do you roast them?
I mean, you could saute some plain mushrooms, and they would be perfectly.
But you're changing its chemical compound then. Then you're all pulling out natural like sweet and saltiness that come with it with the umami. The only one that comes close, but I couldn't comment on it because I fucking hate them raw, is tomatoes. That's the other umami one. Nerds.
So
tomatoes aren't umami.
Yes, they're in that family.
Merrick discovered a cooking technique for mushrooms that is it's a dry saute. Ooh. Where you saute them in a pan with no liquids, because that's to draw off or to evaporate the moisture that is already in mushrooms, and that also changes the texture and brings out and gives it a more robust flavor.
Yep.
It's not adding any flavors to it. It's just removing the water.
Moisture.
Yeah.
A lot of chefs will do that, and then they'll just, because it comes out like a really thick paste when it's done, because there'll be some kind of moisture in it still, unless you fully dehydrate them.
No,
completely.
I'm talking about fully dehydrating them.
Oh, yeah.
And then taking those mushrooms and adding, you can eat them that way, or you can add them to another dish.
So last time I dehydrated mushrooms was years and years ago. I think they were boulettes, which are already a pretty good flavor on their own, but I dehydrated all of them. put them in the spice grinder and turn them into a powder. That went into my pork belly brine when I made bacon. And they were like, it was mushroom bacon, and it was wonderful.
Nom, nom, nom.
Getting so hungry, and we're just eating nothing but chips.
Mhm.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our Tales of Seattle and us eating.
Yep.
But a little different, a little fun.
Shout out to John, who was a great ambassador. He was at the White Horse.
Even if someone did steal his poor puppy's treats.
It's not stealing if you don't know you did it.
This is sort of true.
Sort of true. I don't think most laws would agree with you, but
Also, no.
I'll allow it.
Also, no intent.
That's true. Well, you know what? That doesn't count. So it's the manslaughter version of stealing doggy treats.
Is ignorance of the law a crime?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. That's a Simpsons joke. I bet Kevin caught it.
Most likely. But yeah, he was at the White Horse, and he had his little dog Dido with him. So that was what I'm like. Well, there's a dog in the bar. I'm gonna go say hello to the dog and pet the dog, and ended up chatting with John, who was also a Trekkie. And
Sue was Juno, the server.
Yep.
They and I hit it off way too much.
Yep.
I don't mean in any kind of salacious way. I feel like the two of us would end up hurting ourselves by like, let's mix this drink. Now let's make this drink.
We also met a couple that had just come off of an Alaskan cruise that had also their recent transplants to West Lynn from from
I thought you
California.
were talking about me and my ladies.
No, not them.
No,
Fuck
we did
that.
not make fun with them.
No.
We did not.
When I tried.
Yeah, no, the couple that we like, these are also people that I'm like, here's our card. We're Geek in the City Radio.
Yeah. Cable, in full admission here, which will shock no one. You remember more towards the later of that evening than Denise and I do.
I remember everything.
I remember everything.
I know
it was a hot summer night.
I know at which point both of you checked
I got
out.
eaten alive.
I know I checked out, but I still ate my fucking hot wings.
You did. You checked out far later than Denise did.
Yes.
No shade thrown.
No.
No, that's the true facts.
Yes.
True story.
But everyone got
They
home.
poured them
Should
stiff on it.
have had dinner a lot sooner.
Yeah. They
So
do
it's
pour them
always
stiff
my
at that bar
downfall.
too, so be ready when you go. At that bookstore, I mean.
Yes. Yeah, that's basically what we're saying. Please visit the White Horse in Seattle.
It is cool. It's down an alleyway,
Post alley
by Pikes. You won't, if you look it up, it'll show up, and you walk down the alley, and if you see this place that looks like you might get beat up if you don't watch yourself, and it has a sign that says the strongest drinks in Seattle.
They are not kidding.
You won't get beat up. It's actually incredibly friendly.
I will.
But they're not kidding on the drinks.
Not drinks. Drinks singular. The Pim's Cup. That's what they're like best known for.
But the
is
sign.
Pim's Cup.
But the sign says the
which you
strongest.
bought us a round of. Holy cow!
By the way, they serve their Pim's cups not in tin cups, but in fucking tumblers.
Yep. I will say also, these signs all exist. The sign that there is no sign that says the White Horse. It is a proper old style tavern where the name of the place is a picture of what it is.
Yep.
Yes.
Which is a picture of a white horse.
Yeah. Every seat
That's how you know.
And again, legally a bookstore.
Legally a bookstore. But like if you go in there, say hi to the folks that are there.
Say
If
hi
you
to
see a
Juno.
dude, if you see a dude with a dog, that's John. Say hello.
Yeah.
And say hi to Dito for me.
Yes. Pet Dito, give Dito his due.
That's right. And his treats, because he always has treats with him.
Yep.
Except when Denise steals them.
Except when Denise steals them. To be fair,
To be fair.
she was given the treats to
I
feed
know.
to Dito, and that's what she was doing.
But I think it was like the next evening, I'm sitting at the desk in our hotel room, and I'm looking at this bag. And I remember thinking, and I think I told Cable, like, did Denise just accidentally like pack some Tyrian's treats? And Cable starts busting up, and he goes, "Those are Dito's."
and both of you took a minute. You're like, "Who's Dito?"
That is true.
And then I recounted some of the previous evening, and you're like, Oh.
This makes me think of
Now I
something.
remember.
Throw it out there live. I know we're gonna whatever. Would we ever be open to a very limited Geek in the City radio? Take some listeners out on the town.
Very limited.
Very limited.
Like
Very
3 tops.
limited.
We could do 4.
How would we?
We have a approved route.
Mm-hmm.
We have a schedule.
A driver.
We have a driver and a handler.
They're not, and they're separate people.
Yes.
Oh, we should find someone with a schoolie because there's going to be like almost 10 of us.
Is that the tiny school bus? Is that what those are?
Why would there be 10 of us?
Well, there's
Well, the
3
three
of
of
us, and
us,
he said 4 guests.
Handler, driver.
That's 7,
Yes. Okay. Fair.
8.
8, 9. Well, not that. I mean, the driver, I guess, doesn't count in terms of party, but
I wonder if Jen Lane still has the Barfly bus we could rent or borrow.
it's only one way to find out.
It's only one way to find out.
But
I don't think Barfly's around anymore. Anyway,
Fuck it. Someone can just rent a U-Haul box van and we'll just roll around in the
yes,
back.
absolutely not.
Super
Yeah.
legal.
yeah, we'll turn you into drunken. We'll be your drunken coyotes.
We would not do that in a U-Haul. We would
No.
use a rider.
No,
No.
no.
Yes, I like this idea.
Or we rent a mini Winnie, but they cost more.
Mini Winnie is a lot for one night.
That's true.
We want seats for butts, not like beds and
That's true.
canopies.
Then okay. Then we are moving into. We need to find sponsors for this territory.
Oh no, we're getting sponsors. I'm not
Okay.
saying we're fronting this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we would like have an auction for the guests.
Oh yeah,
Well,
but we're still going to get sponsors.
yes, but the auction for that money goes to charity.
Yeah.
We get people to sponsor the event.
Dipping from both ends for a good cause. Gotcha,
Essentially,
Gotcha.
we are not keeping money, and we're not taking money, and we're not spending money.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're just awesome facilitators at that point.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Geek in the City Gets Their Fans Drunk.
Well, now I don't want to do it.
Too late.
But yes, no, for reals,
would be
that
fun.
would be a lot of fun, and we should figure out how to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Very well.
Very well.
Very
Let
well.
them eat cake. That was it.
All right. Well, on that note,
I mean,
what are we going to do next week? What are we going to do? Do you know what, Brian?
do we
Same thing we do every
try
night, Pinky.
for the 4th time to play goddamn Jaws?
No.
No, because it'll be the beginning of a new week, a month, huh?
It's the beginning of a new month. We still need to figure out how we would do that in this setup.
Oh, that's right. New setup.
So,
Get back to Avatar.
yeah, let's do Avatar next week.
Also, if you both have the time, I sent you that link. Maybe
to watch
the,
that thing.
the 2-hour Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. That cut and talk about it.
Yep.
It'd be interesting.
All right, we should probably plan less on air, and
Yeah, let's just go.
Well, but I wanted to let the listeners know what we're going to do so they have a reason to come back next week.
Yeah.
So next week, Avatar.
Avatar.
2
for
more
sure.
episodes.
are we not enough of a reason?
No.
Fine.
It can't always be, look what we've done for you. It's, what have we done for them lately? What are we doing for them?
Ask
next?
not what your podcasters can do for you.
Oh, if
Or
only,
do.
or if only what you could do for your podcasters. You can do like,
No,
share,
you're right.
save, donate,
Yeah.
literally
Those are all things.
anything you can do.
Yeah. If
Other way around. Ask not what your podcast audience can do for you. Ask.
But what
you
can
just
do-
said the same thing.
You
again.
just said the same thing
No,
again.
no. The first time I said ask not what your podcaster
Yeah.
can do for you. Now I'm saying the other thing. Ask not what your podcast audience. Never mind. Let's just move on.
We'll be back next week, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. I'm Aron Duran.
I'm Peterita.
That's a horrible JFK voice. So is mine.
And I'm Ich bin ein Berliner.
Bye, nerds.